Hello, we have 4 levels left in the vampire section. I am Bacter. Let's rock through these. So in the next level, after the twins, we're going to encounter the final type of vampire. Keep in mind that these bats can see in the dark, and they have a silenced automatic weapon. So that is super nasty. It can be a little hard to see their heads, but the headhunter is still worth bringing along, especially in these levels where you're going to be fighting people at long distances. I like to put the landmine down there for later nefarious uses. And grabbing that sawed-off shotgun makes that final encounter there fairly trivial. Now, you can see the real benefit of the headhunter because we don't have to go to the top level and swirl around up there. We can go for this encounter, which is, you know, stacked against you because there are 2 strong enemies at quite a distance in a lit room, but whatever, we've got 2 instant kills as long as we can aim correctly for the head. They take long enough to get close enough to you to begin firing that it shouldn't be too much of a problem. And now we can flank the last guy up here, make sure and turn that crank, and off him. Here comes the ambush. And you know, just grab your weapons of choice and head on out. Actually, I think I probably should have taken the silenced PDW, but whatever. We'll run with it. Yeah, you can see it took just basically my whole 10mm down even a single one of those guys. And fortunately, there's some other weapons down here, and I am out of those weapons. What I'm going to try to do is the little floor trick. If you enter a door right when they're leaving it, sometimes they don't see you, and you know, give you a couple seconds to run. Fortunately, I killed enough other people, including that vampire bouncer that dropped his combat shotgun, that all was well. This coming up is actually one of my favorite levels in the game, if only because it uses the theme song to the game, the Finality of Eternity, I think is what it is, and it is super good. Also, it kind of psychs you out into thinking you're going to be fighting Sir Stella. You might even think he's going to take care of those skeletons, but spoiler alert, no. So there's 3 skeletons to deal with down there, and more are going to be popping up all throughout the level. You want to be using the sledgehammer to conserve ammo, because you're going to need that for later. Set off the microwave there, and it draws down the 2 guys here. I probably could have sledgehammered them, but whatever, the headhunter works just as well too. Now, more enemies are going to be headed down. Skeletons do not see in the dark, and that was a bit risky. I fired that up there to try to hit one of the lights, but at least it draws out the 2 hidden skeletons on the right of this second to top level. All these guys are going to bunch up now, sort of near the elevator. You do want to shoot out all the lights up here for a later ambush. Old World rifles pierce, just like the 10mm does. Thank goodness he didn't quite see me, and that allowed me to get that off. Shooting all the lights beforehand, there's not a light switch, and that allows you to more easily survive the upcoming ambush. We've got another one of these dumb lock-picking sections. I don't know, man. There's one level where I like their use, and that's in the 3rd set of levels, but not here. So you see that guy would have been firing on me if the lights had been on, but they weren't, so he didn't. The rest of this level is basically just, if you don't have to fight anybody, don't. You've got a vent right here, and if you book it to the right, you will actually get around that sledgehammer. The sergeant is still up here. So whatever. Now we know the 3rd enemy type. We've seen the Skellies, and they are quite difficult. Again, this is somewhat curated, and a lot of these, you know, encounters are very hard your first couple times and everything. This level, you've got a real strict time limit on, so it can be tough. And I've got a particular route. Off those 2 guys come in here. You want to make sure that you get that bouncer with the headhunter. Most runs that I've seen ended because I didn't hit him, and he charges right at you. Sledgehammer those, and now you've got 2 ranged weapons to deal with everybody in here. All that you really need is enough suppressed PDW to deal with the lady up here, or you can also use pirouettes. That's fine. These 2 do not have phylacteries, so they will just go ahead and drop their combat shotguns, which is great. By the time you're up here, you basically beat the level. Zoom around behind the final 2 skeletons. No reason to let them see you while you open the door, and we've got, even with that quick run, there were only 20 seconds left. Now, you want to step off the left side of the building over here, and that gives you access to an excellent escape route. You just wait for the reinforcements to come, and we don't care about them. You're not required to kill everybody, and thank goodness, because that's a lot of skellies, and we are out. Okay. Final level. This is Madam Stella's level, and boy, it is a doozy. I got a route that works pretty well through this, but your first couple times, you want to hammer this guy to death in here. He drops his shotgun. Also throw the hammer at that phylactery and take down the first one. While everybody's charging at you, zoom upstairs. There's a new gun up here. Use it to take out one of the phylacteries. Hopefully a couple people will come upstairs. If Madame Stella comes, don't even bother fighting her. She's got so many phylacteries she won't die until they're all down. When you get into this grate, you want to have your Tommy gun out, so when you zoom up here, you start firing immediately. The bat won't get a chance to use his suppressed PW on you. You will have enough ammo left at this point to deal with the 2 vampires who come downstairs. Like so. And also to take out that phylactery. Now, sometimes things get hairy up here. I've seen endless varieties of of vampires be on the top floor there. Now, if you get out your 10mm pistol, you should have enough to take down everybody. That's a little hairy, so if you want to be safe, wait for the male vampire to come down and see you. And now all that's left is dealing with everybody else. You want to draw them out with the sound of gunfire. So there we go. Vampires are down. We are on to the 3rd level set. See you guys then.